Outdated wholesaling tip number one that you should ignore in 2023 is to lock up deals with sellers for as low as you can get, regardless of price, or if it's even a good deal. During the last few years when the market was hot, a common strategy with wholesalers was to find out how much a seller wanted for their distressed property, negotiate as low a price as they could, and then once the lowest price was established, to go ahead and execute a contract with the seller, even if it didn't make sense and with no certainty that they could even wholesale it. I call this technique slinging mud. And when the market was appreciating, sometimes it worked because there were so many investors overpaying for deals. Now, I have a friend who excelled at this strategy. His business model was to get anything and everything under contract and then push his overpriced deals out to his cash buyer list. Now, to his surprise, there seemed to always be someone willing to pay 85, 90, even 100% of value. Now, I'm curious, if you were wholesaling in 2020 or 2021 and the beginning of 2022, did you ever wholesale a deal where the price the cash buyer paid made no sense whatsoever? If so, leave a comment and tell me about it. Now, while I've never been a fan of this technique, in 2023, slinging mud to see what sticks is not a good strategy. The overpaying cash buyers have left the market. It's estimated that as many as 50 to 70% of cash buyers have left the market. There may be a few outliers, but for the most part, the only remaining buyers are buying deep. That means to be successful wholesaling in 2023, you need to make sure to only lock up deals that are actually good deals. Which brings me to outdated wholesaling tip number two that you should ignore in 2023, and that is when analyzing deals to use up to 6-month-old comps that are up to a half a mile away. Now remember, in order to make a legit offer on a distressed property, you have to first establish the after repair value, or ARV, and in order to establish the ARV, you have to compare your subject property to other similar homes in the same neighborhood. We call these comps, and in a normal market, it's common to look at comps that sold up to 6 months and even sometimes 12 months prior, and to go out as far as half a mile or even a mile away from the subject property. Not anymore. Comping properties in 2023 is much different. Sold comps have tightened up drastically because when the market is declining, historical data becomes less relevant. For example, I'm trying not to go back more than 90 days with sold comps, and I'm staying as close as I possibly can to the subject property, ideally in the same neighborhood. Now, in addition, I'm also looking closely at active comps for sale to see how long homes are sitting on the market. I'm also looking at the month-by-month sales data to see how much the market is correcting. Now, keep in mind, if your cash buyer is a flipper, he's probably factoring in market depreciation to anticipate values going down more by the time he's ready to list and sell his renovated home. That means as a wholesaler, you need to also adjust your buy formula so you can buy good deals that your cash buyers will want. Now, I did a video that explains how to comp properties in a declining market. I'll put the link to that video in the description below and you can watch it later. Now, the third outdated wholesaling tip that you should ignore in 2023 is that wholesaling is just a low cash offer game. That all you need to do is make a low cash offer to be successful. Now, that may have been enough during the recent boom, but I believe in 2023, you will struggle as a wholesaler if low cash offers is your only acquisition method. To maximize every lead you generate, there are two additional methods to make offers and get deals. The first is creative financing. With high interest rates in 2023, it's much more expensive for investors to finance deals, so taking over sellers' existing loans with lower interest rates, called subject to, or creating new loans with sellers at favorable rates and terms, called seller financing, are very popular strategies in 2023. As a wholesaler, you need to learn how to negotiate and structure creative financing deals so you can bring those opportunities and wholesale them to your cash buyers. To get a solid understanding on how to do creative financing deals, I'll give you a free guide. Go to creativefinancinghacks.com. Also, I recently did a masterclass video series here on my channel with my good friend and creative financing expert, Pace Morby, where he broke down and explained several different creative financing strategies. I'll put the playlist link to that masterclass in the description below for you to watch later. Now, in addition to making creative financing offers to sellers, I also think it's wise to get your real estate license so you can list properties for sale and earn a commission. The majority of seller leads you encounter are not motivated and will reject your low cash offer and your creative financing offer because they want a higher price more than they want the speed and convenience of cash or the flexibility of creative. Being able to list properties for sellers gives you another tool in your toolbox, and with a market correction in 2023, you can't rely on only one tool. And I did a video where I explained 8 different ways to make money with a real estate license. I'll put the link to that video in the description below for you. The fourth outdated wholesaling tip that you should ignore in 2023 is to not spend time developing strong relationships with cash buyers. During the recent boom, it wasn't necessary. Just blast your deal to your cash buyer list or post your deal on a Facebook group and multiple cash buyers would fight over your deal. Those days are long gone, at least for now. In 2023, you need to dedicate a large portion of your time nurturing your cash buyer relationships. Remember, there are less cash buyers in the market, which means you need to go the extra mile and work closely with them, learn their buy criteria, and bring them deals that fit their exact buy box. Now, I happen to be one of those cash buyers. I have a finder program where I'll give you $10,000 for every deal you bring me that meets my criteria. If that sounds exciting, go to my10kcheck.com to learn more. And to learn how to make yourself irreplaceable as a wholesaler to your cash buyers, be sure to watch a video where I explain how in detail. You know the drill, link in the description. And finally, the fifth outdated wholesaling tip that you should ignore in 2023 is to wholesale properties. Wholesaling is where instead of assigning your contract or double closing with a cash buyer, you actually buy the property and then immediately list it for sale on the MLS and flip it to a homeowner. It's basically wholesaling to a retail buyer, hence why it's called wholesaling. And wholesaling was one of my favorite strategies in 2020 and 2021 because retail buyers were paying crazy high prices to buy homes. So often I could make a lot more wholesaling to homeowners than I could wholesaling to investors. But now in 2023, this strategy isn't working as well because all the crazy buyers are gone. If you do wholesale in 2023, be sure to list a property well below market value so it sells quickly. Now, if you found this video helpful and if you plan on making these 5 adjustments in your wholesaling business this year, leave a comment and say, Jerry, you are a flipping genius. And finally, I've been wholesaling and flipping houses for nearly 20 years, and I gotta tell you, I am super pumped for doing deals in 2023. They're gonna be amazing opportunities, and I plan on crushing it this year, and I hope you do too. I'll see you on the next video.